So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 20 of our season 2 here on F1 Manager 23. Now if you didn't watch the last episode in Austin, Texas, go back and watch that one. It was a sprint weekend and we scored some decent points. Pierre Gasly finishing P7, Esteban Ocon P8 in the end. Max Verstappen, of course, winning the Grand Prix from the two Ferraris of Sainz and Leclerc. It was a very, very interesting Grand Prix, definitely worth a watch. And for the standings-wise, it means that Max Verstappen did win the driver's title. So Max Verstappen, that is all done and dusted. The fight is on for P2 between Perez, Leclerc, Stroll and Sainz. Maybe even Fernando Alonso has an outside chance of getting in that. It'd be very, very unlikely if he did. Constructor standings-wise, Red Bull are on top. They've practically got that sewn up as well. In fact, I think they have. Ferrari and Aston Martin are really battling it out for P2. We are looking very comfortable in P5 at the moment, and that is where, really, we are going to finish unless Mercedes have some sort of massive implosion, which you never quite know with their two drivers. So that's that. If we have a look at the Formula 2, that's how that is shaping up at the moment with the high-tech Pulse 8 winning the Constructors and Drivers standings. Clement Novalak is still in on the top. And at Formula 3, we can see Taylor Barnard for ART Grand Prix doing very well as well. This weekend, we do head to Mexico City, 71 laps round here. The expected strategy, you can try a one-stop, maybe try a two-stop. Car attributes, top speed and low-speed cornering, very, very crucial. So we may have a decent chance round here. Must be said, car part development now, we're going to be focusing on next year's car, whether we're here or not. So the next 4 races, the car is what it is, and that's what we're going to be doing. We've still got some staff to sort out. Alan Parmain, we're going to try and get his contract renewed. Drivers standings, drivers contract-wise, we're not making any decisions as of yet for Ocon and Gasly. So I'm going to get through practice, and I shall see you in qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix. This is it then, final laps in Q2, and sadly we are both knocked out. Ocon and Gasly, P13, P14. Must be said, it's been a difficult qualifying session here. Doesn't harbour much hope for the race. Max Verstappen leading the way, as you can see at the top, and we'll have a look what the grid looks like for Sunday. But yeah, not a positive qualifying at all. Maybe this is not our circuit this weekend. Checo Perez was on pole position but has to take a grid penalty, so he will drop 5 places. Magnussen and Tsunoda also have grid penalties around us. We will be starting here. Charles Leclerc, who was knocked out in Q2. So it's going to be a difficult race weekend for us, this one. Managing expectations early. Let's get to the strategy screen now and see what we can possibly do to get us some points. Right then, guys, so strategy time. And as you can see, both cars on the same strategy. Because we've got these fresh tyres, we're not going for the typical one-stop. We are going for a two-stop, but we are going to use these soft compound tyres. So both cars going soft, medium, soft. Hopefully, that'll mean we've got a decent tyre against our competitors at all times. And if we get us pit stops right, we may make this work very, very well indeed. Apparently, it's 13 seconds quicker. I'm hoping it is. So let's get to 5 red lights and hope that the strategy pays dividends.
We're nearly ready to get started here. 71 laps, 17 turns. It's the Mexico City Grand Prix. I suspect that we'll all be closely following Charles Leclerc in this one.
Starting outside the top 10 is a disappointment. Getting through the midfield will require some creative strategies.
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? What will happen next? We're about to find out at the Mexico City Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and we weren't held for very long. Max Verstappen gets a stunning start off the line. Carlos Sainz not having a great start at all. Has to sit in P3. Ocon and Gasly as we come up to turn 1. Can either of them make any moves on this first lap? We can see the 2 Aston Martins there going at it, and the 2 Andrettis, and it looks like Esteban Ocon, he's having a little bit of a look at Charles Leclerc. Tyre-wise, let's have a look. We've got Verstappen and Russell on mediums. Leclerc is on mediums, as is Piastri, and Esteban Ocon, he's already up into the points early doors here, and behind Checo Perez, he's on used soft compound tyres, obviously getting into Q3, used these different sets of tyres, and Esteban Ocon has had a belting start here on lap 1 in Mexico, just tucking in now behind the home favourite of Checo Perez. Lando Norris in P8, we can see Alexander Albon in P6 as well in the Gulf Williams as we come towards the third sector and coming up towards the stadium section through this weaving left and right before we get there. This is going to be a very, very interesting race in terms of strategy for the teams. Of course, safety cars can play a huge, huge part in this as well. But both of our cars at the moment absolutely gunning for it on lap 1. And Esteban Ocon making moves. Verstappen leads and he's nearly broken DRS to Russell. Lap 6, and Esteban Ocon is continuing to make moves. Lando Norris dropping out of the DRS of Lewis Hamilton, and there was Esteban Ocon, passed him on the start-finish straight with the DRS. Fantastic move, and he can now chase after this Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton 1.3 seconds up the road, but that double helping of DRS is really helping Esteban catch up to him. He's pushing on the tyres very much at the moment. We are saving the ERS for when we pit to try and get the undercuts. So that's what we're trying to do in terms of the ERS management at the moment. Both cars being aggressive on the tyres, and Pierre Gasly is sat in lovely behind the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, just ticking along nicely and just biding his time really. We're even going to start looking at saving a little bit of fuel with Pierre Gasly in a moment, but Esteban Ocon now is in the DRS of Lewis Hamilton. And as I was praising Esteban Ocon, he caught Lewis Hamilton, he got the DRS on Lewis Hamilton, he's going for the move down the inside, and then this happens. Lewis Hamilton turns in and absolutely punts Esteban Ocon into the grandstands. I would blame Lewis Hamilton for that. The Mercedes garage, I'm very interested to see what they're going to say. But Esteban Ocon is out of this Grand Prix, as is Lewis Hamilton. And we now have a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car is out. And that is so disappointing because Esteban Ocon was doing so well, and Lewis Hamilton has ruined our Grand Prix. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Was that Esteban's fault? Was that Lewis Hamilton's? But in my mind, on my pit wall, there is only one person to blame, and that is the Mercedes driver. Gasly now up into P11. And 2 laps later on lap 10, we are back to green flag running, and straight away that DRS is wide open and we are attacking Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. But to be fair, we're not really going to pass the Ferrari, I wouldn't expect. We're going to have to be a bit smarter than that. He did neutralise the race a little bit as well, so we consider bringing Pierre in and switching him onto some mediums and going hards towards the end, but decided against it as it was only a virtual safety car. But at the moment, tagging onto the back of Charles Leclerc nicely, and Max Verstappen 3 seconds in front already on lap 10. Max Verstappen looks like the man to beat in the Red Bull, but Checo Perez is sat behind the Gulf Williams of Alexander Albon in P7 as he comes past his adoring fans in the stadium section. Lap 10. Lap 17, and just look at this gaggle of cars in front of us. Piastri is now down to P10. Charles Leclerc is up into P9. Pierre Gasly looking like he was going to chuck one around the outside there, didn't. But this is the battle for P7 at this moment in time. We can see a lot of cars on the soft compounder tyre, and Pierre Gasly at the moment doing very, very well, just sitting in behind these guys. Tyres are starting to wear. We expect to be in a few laps time with Pierre Gasly, but this battle for P7 is really hotting up. And it is just, he's backing up all these cars, including the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, into Zhou Guanyu and Magnussen down in P13. So any one of these cars will be looking to score points. But as you can see, just driving in formation at this moment in time on lap 17. Max Verstappen now gapped to Stroll is 6.8 seconds. Max Verstappen, he's loving his time here in Mexico City this afternoon. And on lap 22, we are in for the undercut. Lando Norris pitted the lap before, but we reckon this is the optimal lap for us. We can get in and out here with a decent pit stop. This could benefit us massively. And in we come for a set of those medium Bridgestone tyres. Let's have a little look. Is it a decent pit stop? It certainly is. It's a 2.7. Possibly one of our better pit stops of the season so far. Where is Lando Norris? Coming down the start finish straight. Norris is going to be back in front of us. But we are just trundling out of the pit lane. We can see Bottas. Mick Schumacher's in, and we are in some nice clean air with Pierre Gasly, and we can now possibly make this work. Lap 20. And on lap 23, Alexander Albon is in for his medium tyres, and Pierre Gasly is already belting past him That undercut has worked a treat there, and we've come out well in front of Alexander Albon, and Lando Norris cannot get past Valtteri Bottas, and we are closing up to him at a rate of knots at this moment in time. Now just 1.7 behind the McLaren driver. Lap 23. Big moment in this race. Lando Norris got past Valtteri Bottas, and then we had to make sure that we followed him through, and we certainly did. It was great driving from Pierre Gasly. Got it done into that left and right-hander. And now all we're doing is just pushing on a little bit just to make sure that we get in this DRS of Lando Norris. We're giving it the absolute beans to get back in this DRS, because if we can, this is going to help our race absolutely massively. And as you can see, pushing like mad down this straight, and we look like we are just about in the DRS, and we certainly are. That is fantastic, fantastic driving without sounding like John Barrowman into P13. And as we can see, Zhou Guanyu is now pitting, as is Hulkenberg. It's going to be very interesting to see where Zhou Guanyu comes out. I imagine he's going to be well down the order. But look at the gap now we have built. He's going to be well down the order with that hold. This is a poor, poor pit stop for the Williams guys, and we are now back up into P11 with DRS. That's worked beautifully. Lap 25. Pierre Gasly has got Lando Norris. He's managed to get him. He's been just sitting behind him beautifully, to be fair, for a few laps now, and by the time he got the DRS again, he was already past the McLaren driver. It's been great work from Pierre Gasly so far, and on lap 27 he's now up into P8, and it's fantastic from him. We're just going to start charging the battery a little bit. Magnussen's coming back into this somehow. He's got the pace in that Haas today. We're just going to start charging the battery up a little bit once again, but Pierre Gasly on lap 28 doing very well. Max Verstappen is 100% on the one stop. Will that strategy cost him? It will be wait to be seen. Lap 28. And we've got another crash on track, and it is Oscar Piastri. This man was behind, in front of us, I believe, before the first pit stops. And Oscar Piastri just drives into the back of Yuki Tsunoda. And that is another couple of cars out of this Grand Prix. Does not force a safety car. But Gasly is now back behind Lando Norris. He got the double helping of DRS and got past the Frenchman pretty well. I would suggest that McLaren's got a little bit more pace than us this weekend, it must be said. But at the moment, we are tagging onto the back of him beautifully. Lap 29. Lap 35, and this could be the chance to start breaking away for Pierre Gasly now. The tyres, he's on the mediums. I didn't realise. Norris and Magnussen, both on the soft compounder tyre. This could be the chance to break away from these two. We are going to deploy a little bit here. We're going to get DRS and the ERS as well and try and bomb away, because our tyres are in much better nick now. And if we can break this DRS, that would be absolutely superb for Pierre Gasly's race. And remember, we are going to be on the faster tyre at the end of this Grand Prix on the soft compounder tyre, so this would work an absolute charm for us. And as you can see, those two behind really struggling to keep up now as Pierre Gasly breaks the DRS of Lando Norris and now starts to run away down the road on lap 35. Pierre Gasly providing all the entertainment here this afternoon and has now bombed away from these two behind. Verstappen is, as Verstappen pit? Verstappen's pit onto the soft compounder tyre, so I'm guessing Verstappen is going medium, soft, soft. Carlos Sainz now leads, but what a battle this is for the win. Meanwhile, Oscar Piastri is languishing all the way down in P18 and getting rather in the way. Lap 36. So this is the situation. Kevin Magnussen has pit. He's now on the medium compounder tyre. Last lap, 120.5, 120.6. from PS, and not the worst. We are just managing it a little bit, and obviously we are going to be on the fastest compounder tyre towards the end, and battery's full as well. If we get a safety car, we're absolutely laughing. A safety car would be beautiful for us at this moment in time, because it means we could get in, we could get his pit stop done, and unfortunately Valtteri Bottas, who we saw quite a bit of earlier in this Grand Prix, has spun but not caused one. So Valtteri Bottas spinning out there. Lap 46, we see Verstappen is well away again in the lead, but he's going to have to pit once more. Sainz and Stroll may not be out of this yet. Gasly just doing enough at this moment. Lap 46. Here we go then, lap 51, and Pierre Gasly is coming in for his pit stop. Must be said, Magnussen's made some right good time on these medium tyres. I mean, look how close he's made this up. But we are hoping if we get a good pit stop here onto the soft compound tyres with the ERS that we can catch that man once again. and the soft compound tyres gone. It's another 2.7 second stop from our guys. I would expect, let's have a look, Lando Norris coming around the final bend. We're going to be in a nice position here. We are going to be in clean air on the soft compound tyre, a full battery. This could work beautifully. That's Fernando Alonso. Where is Lando Norris? Lando Norris is behind us now, but this is it. It is absolute hammer time. Push on everything on the soft compound, and let's chase down Kevin Magnussen. The gap is around 15 seconds, and we have got around 19 laps to do it. Can we do it? I think we can. 10 laps to go. We're comfortably in P9, but I think Kevin Magnussen might have played it right here because we cannot get close to him yet. However, his tyres are going to start to drop off a little bit. Mind you, ours aren't much better at this moment. If Pierre Gasly is catching up to a car in front, I believe that is Valtteri Bottas. It is, so he's going to get a little bit of DRS. That'll help him out. We're pushing on the tyres, as you can see on the bottom right. We've exerted our battery. We could have done with some extra Duracells in this afternoon. But at the moment, we are 5.8 behind Alonso, and then we'll be right on the back of Magnussen. We need these two fighting, because this will only help us get up to the back of them. Lap 63. And on lap 68, we can see Kevin Magnussen has been dropped by Fernando Alonso, and now we are starting to catch at a rate of knots, and we have got this Audi in front of us that we've not quite got the DRS off of just yet, but I'm hoping we may get the DRS here. Let's have a quick look, as we've been burning fuel massively. We do get the DRS, so we're going to get a helping of DRS here, and hopefully we'll get a helping of DRS on to the start-finish straight, which we're going to do because this Audi Sport is not particularly getting out of the way very well, although he did slow us down massively in that stadium section. But 2 helpings of DRS is going to be more than welcome as we come onto this straight. We have got 3 laps to go and 3 seconds to catch, and Magnussen is doing everything he can to keep away from us. It must be said, Nico Hülkenberg has played an absolute blinder for his teammate here, because not only has he given him DRS, he's now let him past, and now we've got to get past him. And Pierre Gasly is not quite going to make it. We're in P9. We are not quite going to get up to his teammate unless he does give us that double helping of DRS, just like Valtteri Bottas did. But if he blocks us off here, I am going to be more than annoyed, which he didn't as much. I wouldn't say exactly jumped out of the way, but this is it. We are going to deploy. We are attacking on the tyres. Everything we've got down these next 2 straights, and we may get one last passing opportunity, but we didn't get DRS down that straight. We're 2.2 seconds away. We're not quite going to do it. We'll come back towards the end of the lap, but Max Verstappen is coming round the final couple of corners, and Max Verstappen has bossed this Grand Prix, as he has so many before. Max Verstappen comes across the line and wins the Mexican Grand Prix. There's a battle going on. My word, is there a battle going on for the podium here. It's P2 for Stroll, Leclerc or Sainz. It looks like Lance Stroll is just about doing enough to get P2. It's another strong showing from the Aston Martin man as he comes around the final corner. Lance Stroll is going to pick up P2 in Mexico, followed by Charles Leclerc, and then comes Carlos Sainz and Perez. George Russell's a further 19 seconds back as he now makes his way through the stadium section, and then comes Fernando Alonso in P7. We'll switch back to Pierre Gasly. He's given it absolutely everything today. It must be said, I think if Esteban Ocon would have been in the race, we definitely would have had another point scoring position here. But Pierre Gasly comes through the stadium section, 1.8 seconds behind Kevin Magnussen. The Haas was a bit quicker today, but it's been a decent point score again from Pierre Gasly. We gain points on Williams, and that is basically that. Esteban Ocon will be fuming to be one of the 2 DNFs. Piastri lucky to not be, but let's get to the podiums for this Mexican Grand Prix.
Now, Esteban Ocon won't be in a hurry to talk about that race today.
That was a bitterly disappointing retirement. The team certainly wouldn't have wanted their race to end this way.
Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
There really doesn't seem to be a way to stop them winning this year. Amazing consistency.
Max Verstappen then showing once again the class that he's got, and even after he's won the World Championship, he's still pushing on and getting fantastic results. As we saw him winning from Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc, gaining 8 places up into P3. Kevin Magnussen, I think he's driver of the day, gaining 11 places in that Haas. Fantastic work for him. Gasly in P9, Albon in P10, and we go all the way to the bottom to find Lewis Hamilton and Esteban Ocon. Driver standings wise, we know Max has got it sewn up. Sergio Perez now really should have P2 sewn up as well. Leclerc, Stroll and Sainz and Alonso are in a right battle for the 3rd place on the driver standings. Ocon and Gasly, 64 points apiece. You can't say that they are not sharing the workload. One thing to note though, if you just look at the bottom right there, 4 DNFs for Esteban Ocon, only none for Pierre Gasly. Constructor standings wise, Red Bull have got the title won. Ferrari and Aston Martin, it's very, very close indeed. Only 14 points between them. We stay in P5. Haas actually gained on us a little bit, but I can't see them catching us towards the end of the season. We are going to see you on the next one on Thursday, I believe this is, or we'll see when the next one is. I can't remember when I'm recording this in the grand scheme of things. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. We're still battling away, and next season I assume is going to be a very, very interesting one. But please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Ta-ra!